Hello everyone and welcome back to another average review. And today, we're taking a look at a figure I've mentioned a bunch of times, but I only just got today. That's right, the McFarlane DC Multiverse Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat Hound. So looking at the packaging, and it's your standard DC Multiverse affair. DC Multiverse logo and the name of the figure down here. Same on the side. It also clarifies that this figure is based on the Silver Age Batman stories. I do have something to say about it being from the Silver Age, but we'll get to that. And on the back, we see a pretty dang good comic cover for this figure set, since, it has the exact Batman and Ace the Bat Hound design. Let's hope they make a Silver Age Dick Grayson Robin too. After all, the only other classic Robin was McFarlane Toy Store exclusive that is massively expensive on the aftermarket. But either way, pretty nice packaging, so let's get this Batman out of the box. Alright, getting this Batman out of the box, and no surprise, this figure's on the Batman Nightfall body mold, specifically the one with a blank, non-sculpted logo chest and a wired cape. And I am not complaining about that at all, since this is an amazing Batman body mold, and of course it works for this Silver Age version since he's just wearing a very simple costume. Now I should mention, there are two new pieces for the figure itself, that being this Silver Age style belt, which is very accurate, and this amazing head sculpt. That is the perfect Silver Age Batman head. You got the black shading on the mask, you got the blue sort of eyebrows and nose, which are just such a classic 60s, 50s Batman kind of thing. Especially because of the Adam West show. He's got a confident-looking smirk on his face, some pretty short ears, which fits the Silver Age, and this is an amazing head sculpt. I absolutely love it. Now, the logo is why I'm questioning whether this is actually a Silver Age Batman or not, since, correct me if I'm wrong, but during the Silver Age, that's when DC soft rebooted, sorta. They just kind of made it so that the stories taking place in the 40s with characters like Jay Garrick Flash and Alan Scott Green Lantern took place on Earth 2, and Barry Allen and Hal Jordan's versions of Flash and Green Lantern were on Earth 1, which is when the Silver Age stories were. And at that time, one of the differences they made between Earth 1 and Earth 2 Batman was that Earth 1 Batman had the classic yellow bat logo, and Earth 2, which was the Golden Age one, had a logo like this without the yellow oval. So this could be more of a Golden Age Batman, actually, because, other than the logo, their designs were pretty much the same. Now, is this a massive critique? No, not in the slightest. I just thought it was interesting to mention. Talking about some other aspects of the figure, I really like the shades of blue and gray here. They're pretty much perfect. The blue is very, very bright, which I love to see, and the gray is a very nice shade of gray. It's not too light and not too dark. Pulling out Nightfall Batman, and you can really see the difference a good gray like the Silver Age Batman has can make. Although I am disappointed that they don't have the same shade of blue, because I would have actually really liked to see how a head swap would look, but unfortunately, the colors do not match. The last thing I'd like to mention is that the trunks are actually sort of cel-shaded like the mask. They have the bits of blue on the sides, but are mostly black, and that's accurate to the Silver Age Batman design, and honestly, I don't mind that bit of cel shading right there. It actually looks really good. And it further brings to mind the classic Silver Age Batman, which is of course a plus. Alright, now moving on to the articulation, and you already know what to expect. There's been a dozen figures on this Nightfall Batman mold, and I've actually reviewed a couple of them. But we should go over it anyways, obviously. He's got a dumbbell joint in the neck, which lets him look up pretty far. He doesn't look down very much, but he does spin his head all the way around and get tilt side to side. He's got a rotator cuff in the shoulders. The shoulders themselves, of course, spin around and hinge a bit above 90 degrees in combination with that rotator cuff. He's got bicep swivel and double jointed elbows, which get a pretty dang good bend, and McFarlane style wrists that can spin around and hinge in any direction. Now, in terms of torso articulation, he's got a diaphragm joint and a ball jointed waist. It lets him hunch forward this far, which is not very far at all, but still a bit more than most DC Multiverse figures at the very least. He does get a really good arch back, though, which is always nice to see. He also gets tilt side to side and twist at the diaphragm joint and the ball jointed waist, but the latter is a bit limited by that sculpted belt. Now, at the hips, he can kick forward a little under 90 degrees, I'd say, but he does get a pretty much perfect split and a bit of twist in the hip. He's, of course, got double jointed knees, which get a pretty good bend, along with toe articulation and the McFarlane style ankles that can hinge forward and back, pivot side to side, and spin all the way around. So yeah, it's the usual Nightfall Batman articulation, which is always, it's a really good body mold in terms of sculpting and articulation, which is definitely the reason why it's used so much. But there's one more bit of posability I should mention, which is the wired cape. Now, you actually get a really, really large amount of cape, which is really nice to see. And of course, like I mentioned, it's got a wire in it so you can pose it around. It's actually very shiny. I kind of like that. It looks pretty dang cool. But moving on to the figure comparisons, and we of course have to start out with the standard male and female comparisons, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows, Spider-Man, and Spinneret. Moving on to some DC comparisons, and I wanted to start out with the World's Finest and the Justice League, along with the Justice Society, since, like I said, this could also work as a bit of a Golden Age Batman. Starting out with Superman, though, we have the Amazon exclusive Atomic Skull 2-pack repaint of the Action Comics 1000 Superman, and the Collector Edition Strange Lives Superman. I think this Batman might actually work better with the Atomic Skull 2-pack version, mainly because of the color schemes, and also because their heights are a bit more similar than with the Strange Lives Superman. Now, granted, they of course released that DC Digital Silver Age Superman, but that's a bit hard to find. For some Golden Age versions of Superman and Wonder Woman to complete the DC Trinity, though, we have the Fleischer Studios Superman and the Page Punchers Golden Age Wonder Woman. And yeah, this Batman can definitely fit in with both Golden and Silver Age displays pretty dang well. Speaking of Golden and Silver Age versions of characters, we have the Jay Garrick and Barry Allen versions of The Flash. The Barry Allen figure is the DC Digital Speed Force version, and he's still suffering from a broken ankle. For another comparison of that nature, we have Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, and John Stewart. I actually don't have a DC Multiverse figure of Hal Jordan. But Green Lantern's Green Lantern. For some more members, though, we have Martian Manhunter and Aquaman, although, unfortunately, I only have much more modern versions of these two in the Multiverse line. Moving on to some members of the Bat family, though, and for the closest things I have to a classic Robin in the DC Multiverse line, we have the Mattel version of Red Robin and the Batman Forever Wave Robin with the unmasked Jason Todd head. Like I said earlier, we really need a new Silver Age Dick Grayson Robin. For Dick Grayson, the original Robin all grown up, though, we have the DC Multiverse Nightwing from Batman Nightfall. they did actually release the more classic disco suit Nightwing in the DC Digital line, with no accessories other than a Batarang. I just can't win with Nightwing figures, can I? But of course, on the other side, we also have Alfred Pennyworth from Mattel's DC Multiverse line, since, I mean, he's the most important Batman character. Although for Batman, sometimes friend, sometimes foe, most of the time even more than that, we have the DC Essentials version of Catwoman from Batman Nightfall. Here's hoping McFarlane makes a version of Catwoman from the Silver Age, since that would be a pretty cool figure. Or, you know, a version of Catwoman from Hush, or just any other figures of Catwoman that are actually from the comics. Catwoman is a pretty nice segue into some classic Silver Age Batman villains, though. Of course, we have to start out with the Silver Age versions of Joker and the Riddler by McFarlane. For some characters that got the Silver Age figure treatment by McFarlane that I unfortunately don't have for one reason or another, we have the Batman the Animated Series style Mr. Freeze and the Mattel Batman Arkham City Two-Face. In that same vein, we have the Arkham City version of the Penguin by McFarlane, since I really didn't feel like picking up that collector edition version. For another villain who showed up a fair bit of times in the Silver Age, though, we have the Megafig version of Clayface by McFarlane. Here's hoping that with that Clayface movie coming out fairly soon, McFarlane actually makes a new, more articulated comic Clayface. Although for the most important Silver Age Batman, we have the Adam West version of Batman by McFarlane. For a comparison with some other blue and gray Batman on this body mold, we have the Nightfall version, which of course I brought out earlier, and the DC Digital No Man's Land Batman, showing the comparison of why having a wired cloth goods cape is so much better than having one without a wire. For a comparison with a recent kit bash I did, though, here we have the Three Jokers Batman with the legs from the original DC Rebirth Batman to make this figure more in scale with figures like Nightfall. For the most important Golden Age Batman, though, we have the Detective Comics 27 First Appearance Batman, and as you can see, unfortunately, the Silver Age Batman, which of course comes later along the line in the DC canon, is shorter than his past self, which is kind of an unfortunate side effect of using, you know, the Hush style body mold for the First Appearance Batman and the Nightfall one for the Silver Age Batman. But I mean, I still don't dislike either of these figures. They're still amazing. But hey, as is tradition, here's the McFarlane DC Multiverse Silver Age Batman with Hit Monkey and Goliath. Alright, now it's time for the fun part. What accessories does this Batman come with? Well, of course, he comes with the standard DC Multiverse figure stand and trading card. The trading card is the same artwork on the back of the box, and it does say, of course, that it's Batman and Ace the Bat Hound. If you want to read the back, well, here you go. But, I mean, obviously the trading card ain't what I'm interested in. Let's talk about the actual accessories this Batman comes with. In terms of alternate hands, he of course comes pre-packed with a pair of fists in the box like I've been showing throughout the video. He also comes with a pair of open grappling hands. He's also, of course, got a pair of accessory holding hands, which, of course, can be used to grip his trusty Batarang that he, of course, comes with like all releases of Nightfall Batman. But, I mean, the coolest and most important accessory is, of course, Ace the Bat Hound. He's sculpted really, really well. I mean, there's just a bunch of fur texturing, not much like of a paint wash or anything, but it still looks good. He's got his collar with the little bat symbol on it, which is adorable. And I mean, that's a pretty scary looking dog. I mean, it kind of looks like he got possessed or something. Yeah, this is a really, really cool accessory. Now, unlike that one version of Krypto that they released with the mulleted Superman, this guy can't actually rotate his head or anything, but it's still a really, really cool accessory. Alright, now time to talk about the price on this Batman, where I actually have some pretty good news. This guy retailed for about $22, which is actually the price I got him for on Big Bad Toy Store. So the question is that price worth it? Of course it is. I mean, literally look at this. I mean, it's one of the best DC Multiverse Batman body molds. It's got a wired cape, a pretty good paint job. It comes with an entire new Ace the Bat Hound accessory, and all the regular hands and, of course, the Batarang that this body mold comes with. There's also the fact that McFarlane has been releasing a bunch of Silver Age figures that you could definitely fit this guy in with. And also, you could probably fudge him into a Golden Age collection since, I mean, they have really, really similar designs. Alright, time to give my final thoughts on this figure. And if you couldn't tell by the last section, I am really, really happy with this figure overall. I mean, the two new pieces are really, really good. Ace the Bat Hound is amazing. Paint job spectacular. Articulation is, well, it's Nightfall Batman. It's pretty dang good. The wired cape is amazing, and the selection of hands are really, really good. That coupled with this being a standard release DC Multiverse figure is kind of crazy, given that a bunch of figures in even, like, just the DC Digital or Page Punchers line, and also the Collector Edition line, have come with way less than this Batman does. And also, in my opinion, they look way less good than this Batman. Is this probably due to bias towards Batman being one of the most profitable DC characters? Yeah, it probably is, let's be honest. But, I mean, still, this figure is spectacular. The only real problem I guess I'd have with it is that I kinda wish he had the yellow Oval Bat logo, but I mean, we've gotten a bunch of figures with that, and I'm pretty sure you could actually do like a head swap with the Batman that came in that 2-pack with the Nightfall Bane, so I mean, that's pretty much the same color scheme and also a nearly identical cape, so it would work really well. And plus, like I said, having Ace the Bat Hound here is amazing. So in conclusion, I'm going to give the McFarlane Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat Hound a 10 out of 10. I think this is one of, if not the, best DC Multiverse Batman ever released. And he's probably my personal favorite if I'm being honest. So, I mean, if you're still here, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review almost as much as I enjoyed this Silver Age Batman figure. And of course, have a great day, 'cause you deserve it. Bye-bye!